how old are you guys?
26.
26, yeah.
26.
27 in May.
27 in May. And you currently have started 3 businesses?
Yeah.
Started 3 businesses and just one actively.
One actively. So one of them you have already sold.
One we sold. One we started with the sole purpose to retire my mom from driving Uber. And then the third business is, the one we've been running.
So how old were you when you started the first one?
19?
18, 19, yeah.
I think 18 and 19.
You guys
I'm 2 months older.
You didn't go to college?
We did. So we both got our bachelor's. He went to Cal Poly. I went to Cal State Fullerton, civil engineering, business. And we started it while we were taking full-time college credits, just going door to door, cleaning windows. And that was the business. It was called Orange Window Cleaning. Well, first it was J&S Window Cleaning, Johnny and
Classic.
Sergio Window Cleaning. We were like, this is kind of a lame name. So we decided, how can we rebrand this? And we lived in the city of Orange at the time with my mom. And so we're like, okay, let's call it Orange Window Cleaning. And it was available. So we were like, and it would probably rank better anyways when people search for window cleaning in Orange. And so we rebranded it. And then when we weren't going to school Monday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we would clean windows. And then during the summer, we would do it full time.
So were you guys paying for college and stay, and this was a way for you guys to kind of bring income in along the way? Did you not have to worry about that, so you had time to focus on the business? Like, what did that feel like when you're in college?
I mean, for me, I'll be honest, I grew up like low income, so I got some financial aid, the FAFSA stuff. But yeah, I mean, I still had to pay to live.
Right.
And so, yeah, having the window cleaning business, like we would take that. I mean, we'd reinvest a lot of it, but then use like as much as we could or as little as we could to just survive.
Right.
Like at some point we were living on the same bed for 6 months. Like
we were sleeping together for 6 months.
Because this is what happened. I was commuting. I was like driving like from Riverside area to Orange County. And I was living on my grandma's couch, like literally like sleeping in her apartment. And so at one point I was like, we're getting jobs every single day. I was like, dude, let me just like sleep over. And so like I slept over one day, and then it's like another day, and like
slowly
like
but surely
later,
he just started moving his
just
moving his stuff.
His mom was like, do you live here? And I was like, I guess. And so like I started paying a little bit of rent, and we gotta sleep on the same bed.
So that I didn't go to college. So I don't know what the like normal college experience is like, but that doesn't sound normal. Is that what all kids are doing? They're building businesses while they're at school, or most of them just there to learn?
Well, most drop out if they're building a business, because by the time we got to our senior year, I mean, we were doing like 65, 70 grand a month in that business and 30% profit margins. We were killing it in that business, at least we thought at the time. And so for me, it was just I needed to finish college because I told my mom I'd finish college. And then he's like, I actually want to try my degree because it was civil engineering. And, he was doing, the Pythagorean theorem and all those crazy, the crazy equations, to grinding for that degree. I was just, doing bare minimum to get by so I could get the degree and then
Okay,
go
so
full-time
you
in
wanted
business.
to honor your mom.
Yeah.
And you told her you'd finish, so you stuck to it.
Yeah, that was it.
What are you doing with your degree now?
No, nothing, man.
Nothing.
Okay. I got a job like right out of college, and I lasted 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Like it was a weird time. It was during COVID, and so we did hit this point where like we were getting no jobs because everyone was like indoors. They were scared, and so we thought maybe the business was gonna go under. And so it was like that weird time where I thought this is a good opportunity for me to try the degree I just went to school for, and I lasted 6 weeks, and then I quit.
Yeah, you left me high and dry.
Yeah, I quit the job.
Dang. Okay, so is this something that like any college kid can do? Is
100%.
Okay, so break that down. If you're in college and you want to make money and potentially even have a business that sets you up afterward, why is this such a good business to start?
I mean, we started with $150, $75 each. Bought some squeegees and like a polo, and started knocking doors in like storefronts and stuff like that. And that's how we got started.
And cleaning windows.
Yeah, just cleaning windows. Yeah.
And so, what were you charging?
Well, when we first started, I'll tell you a story. So we were like, okay, we had our equipment, $75. We were like, let's go pitch the local mom and pop businesses in the strip mall across from where we were living at the time. And one was a donut shop. The first one we pitched was a donut shop. And we're like, hey, can we clean your windows? Like, that was the pitch. No sales process or sales skills, just can we clean your windows? And then she was like, yeah, if you do a good job, we'll pay you. So we're like, okay, cool. Like, let's do a good job. And we had just been practicing 5 minutes before on never cleaned a window. And believe it or not, there's some skill to cleaning some windows, like especially quickly and efficiently. But we cleaned the window. It's like 2 big panes of glass. Takes us like an hour. And we finished and like, yeah, it looks good, but we'll pay you in donuts. And I mean, we didn't say anything, but we got a free box of donuts. And so that was our first paying job. And then we kept going door to door because we realized we couldn't pay the bills with donuts. So let's get some actual paying jobs. And so we started charging like $12. $12 was our first paying client. It was a dry cleaner for like 3 windows.
So and then, $12 every time you show up.
Yeah, $12 every time we show up. But we only showed up that one time because like that job was just terrible, and she haggled us down from $20. So, but that day after the donut thing, we landed one job for $12. We landed the second one. It was an auto repair shop, which the guy just wanted to help us out. His windows were all screwed up. There was no saving on it. Cleaning them wasn't going to make a difference. $40 there. Burger shop across the street was $50 a month. And then we had the Ford like old auto parts store for $80 a month. And so we racked up like $200 our first day, and we were freaking over the moon. We made our first dollar in our own business. It was pretty cool.
Okay, so knowing what you know now, what was like the ideal price point for? I'm sure it was based on size.
I would just say don't even do storefronts, because then we took that. We're like, okay, well, we're not going to make much money unless we stack up a bajillion storefronts, which we didn't want to do. So the next play was, hey, let's get into residential. How we did that was we started cold calling house cleaning companies because we knew they didn't clean windows. And I just basically said, hey, I'll give you 15% of any customer that you refer us, because I know you don't clean their windows, and you probably get people that are asking for window cleaning services. So we'll take care of it, and we'll just give you 15% of those requests. I'm like, okay, cool. Called the top 2 companies on Yelp. Both agreed to it, and they started sending us residential. One of those companies told us, hey, you need to start building a reputation in your area and get reviews on Yelp. And eventually we found out Google Business Profile. And, when you search up services in your area, the map shows up with all the companies and the reviews. And so we're like, okay, well, let's start asking our customers for reviews. And eventually, over time of just doing the basics and building a brand, we built the biggest window cleaning company in Orange County. So if you look up window cleaning in Orange County, you'll see Orange Window Cleaning still exists. And we've got more reviews than everybody. We outrank Yelp, and it's just from getting the reviews. And so,
wait, so how big did the 2 of you scale it to?
We, at the time of sale, we were at about $700,000 a year. And then now that the owner that runs that business actually worked for us, the business is doing well over $1 million a year now.
Wow. And so how many, at what point were you guys not able to service all the homes yourself and having to start hiring? Or did you not really have that?
It was a lot of trial and error, man. It was really tough because we had no hiring skills. It was like friends that hired our nephew, our friends from high school, and then we would bitch about they don't want to work hard.
Right. So maybe the better question is, for people getting started, how much can you service, and what do you think that revenue was just you two? How big can you get this thing before you have to worry about hiring?
Oh man, we were doing jobs we had this whale client who owned the second largest tree trimming company on the West Coast, had 5 mansions in Anaheim Hills. We ran into him at one of the storefronts we were servicing, and we would clean all the windows at his houses. It would take us a week, and we would make $5,000 in that week, and that was every quarter. And he'd pay us all cash, so he'd keep $2,500, I'd keep $2,500, and put it all in my wallet, and I felt like I was freaking rich. So I would say comfortably, you can get to $20K a month with if you have you and a buddy that are just doing it, pretty easily. Because the stack is not only window cleaning, but it's okay, I'm already here cleaning the windows. What else can I do using the equipment that I already have? You can clean the gutters, which you charge $2 to $4 a linear foot for gutter cleaning. Right. During Christmas, when it gets slow, your calls are going to drop off a little bit. You can start offering Christmas lights. Yep. Our average ticket for lights was $1,000. We sold one job that was $12,000 in Ladera Ranch. Christmas lights, gutter cleaning, house washing, window cleaning.
I did that once.
While we were there,
You paid it?
Heck yeah.
yeah,
To do the lights?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have no experience in setting up.
Yeah, you made a face when you brought up Christmas lights.
You don't have to do much for Hanukkah.
No, we put a menorah on the window.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How much of a nightmare is it? It looks awful.
Well, it's not I'm just not a handy person. So
Yeah, but it looks
I'm
it's
looking
a very
at
time-consuming process.
for hours. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, when you pay for a professional light installation, it's all custom C9 wire, industrial grade wiring.
Looking.
Yeah, it's gonna last you 5-10 years, and it looks clean.
Dude, I actually never took them down. I swear, it was at the last house. We just left them up.
No,
We
a
just
lot
never
of
turned
people
them
will.
out.
A lot
Yeah.
of people will say, just keep them
on.
up. We'll turn them off.
Totally, that's what we did. Huh, that's cool. Okay, so you guys bring on some people. It sounds like you had a rock star employee that wanted to end up taking over the company, and you sold it to him. And then how did that look? Did you guys sell it all up front? Did you guys have a kind of installment sell?
Yeah, we took 25% down, and then we took the rest of the payments out over 2 years, so 24 months, monthly installments.
Okay, and then what?
That was well. The story behind that was because as we were running that business, our new business, Home Service Academy, took off, and that business ended up going from 0 to 2.8 million in 9 months. And it's like you go from like, okay, we pre-sold everything when we launched that business. Because we wanted to make sure we could get results, and that business is
Okay, wait, hang on. Yeah, you guys wind it back a little bit.
I just heard 2.8.
That's what we went from 750. I had an employee that we sold it, and then 2.8.
This is all.
What is this next company?
Yeah,
How long after you
Home
sold the
Service
first
Academy?
one?
Yeah, that one's Home Service Academy. So we in the
You're 24 at this point?
this is coming into 2022. 2021 we end the year around 700 grand. 2022 we're like we're gonna hit $1 million. Like had everything dialed in, and then I was making content on Twitter, so I was tweeting. I got like 6,000, 7,000 followers. At Squeegee God was the handle.
Well, I
And
love
so
that.
I'm sitting there tweeting about how I'm running this window cleaning business, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in college and this and that. And people are just eating it up.
Right.
And I'm talking about how we're using contractors now instead of employees, and that was like our thing, because when you're building a window cleaning business and you're scaling it, especially the way we were doing it, we started with $150, and we have no credit history. No one's gonna finance us for trucks as we grow and we scale, and we're ambitious. We want to grow the business. And every time we have to buy a truck, you got to buy the truck, you got to wrap the truck. You're paying for the rack, the ladders, all the pressure washers, the water-fed poles, everything that goes into it. And so all the profit we were making was just going right back into buying more trucks and equipment. And so we realized, we're like, well, what if we just hire contractors? Because we had an employee go off and do his own thing and tell us, hey, if you ever need any jobs covered, just give me 50% of the job and I'll take care of it. And I'm like, 50%? Like, dude, we pay our employees like 20%. There's no way. But I didn't factor in, I'm not paying any workers' comp, I'm not paying payroll tax, not paying for any of the equipment, any of the time to manage that and train that person.
Right.
And so it got to a point where we had so much work on the books, and all 3 of our trucks at the time were out, and we couldn't service this one client. It was a $4,000 a year client. It was this big job every December or every August, I think it was, that needed her whole house washed, windows cleaned, etc. And I thought of him saying, "Hey, call me if you ever are in a bind." And so I call him like, "Hey, can you take care of this?" Goes and takes care of it, shows up at our yard in our office and drops off the $4,000 check, and I pay him half and just didn't have to worry about it. And I was like, "Oh my God, what are we doing?" So just hired a bunch of contractors, and that's what people really liked, is that we were using contractors instead of employees. And so they were asking us, how can I do it? How can I do this window cleaning thing in my area? I'm like, well, we live in Orange County. It's very, it's a big metro, very dense, lots of window cleaners, less seasonality. I don't know if it'll work in most metros, but what will work is house cleaning, because anybody can go to Home Depot, pick up some cleaning supplies, and clean a house. Not everybody has the money to fork out for the proper equipment to actually clean, these big houses, the windows on these big houses. And at the time, my mom was raised me on her own, full-time Uber driver in Orange County, $3,200 a month rent. Having to drive Uber full-time, I'm talking like 60 hours a week. Right. Buying Priuses just to drive Uber, cycling out Priuses every couple of years. And, we were doing good with Orange window cleaning, but it wasn't to the point where I'm like, "Hey, Mom, here's $5,000 a month. Go, like, relax.
Right.
You're done." But I was like, I can knock out 2 birds with one stone. We can build some credibility in this house cleaning area, and we can retire my mom. And the whole thing was that we called our shot. We're like, "Hey, in 30 days, we're going to retire my mom from driving Uber." And we launched the business called Mary and a Mop. Her name is Mary. Launched the business on an Amex, put $2,000 into ads, hired the contractors. And in the first month we did, we were talking about this, we did $12,000 of revenue our first month, $4,000 of profit, which basically replaced what she was doing with Uber. Next month did $20,000 of revenue, $8,000 of profit. And to this day, she hasn't driven Uber since. That business will consistently do, to this day, around $35,000 to $40,000 a month.
And it's just following that same model that if you guys can get customers, you can contract the help.
Yeah, because the expectations and the customer support can all be done via the phone. Like you don't need to be boots on the ground. Like you think you'd have more control by having employees, but we didn't see any drop off in service delivery. Our reputation's still stellar in the area.
And that company's still around?
Company's still around. Yeah, Marion Mop and Orange Window Cleaning are both
And
still
mom's
around.
retired.
Mom, yeah, she got VA in the business now overseas, answering all the phones, basically running the whole show.